All right, now we are doing combat documentation training. So just like we are with the other ones, we're going to take a moment to just scroll through the images, get a first impression. Set it in another category, but if you're going to submit images from the same photo shoot, make sure every photo says something different. These 4 here are very similar, so are these 2. So pick one, send it on up. On first glance, there are definitely some really good ComDoc training images in here, so great job out there. All right. This is a great image, composed well, colors work. I wish the photographer was a little bit lower in here, bump these guys up a little bit higher to the top. Cool. I've actually never seen 2 B-52s flying in formation before. Also cool. Compositionally though, or really it just needs a crop, crop in on these. Don't have any wasted space. If there's white space, have it there for a reason. Same thing here. I think this is a great image, but I almost feel like this could be, a lot of people frown on square crops, but I think it can potentially work. Try it out here. I think a vertical also might work. But this space is a bit wasted. Good image. Just a bit more, try to move over just a tad so you can see the entire subject there. Cool. Oh, this is good too. You really get a sense of what it feels like being on there with those guys. This is unique, creative. I think it actually works pretty well. Yeah, has this old school sort of feel. This also has a pretty old school feel. Yeah, this is an awesome photo. Could possibly use a crop, but I think as is, it is what it is as far as getting that action. If it was down a little bit more, if you shot more towards the ground and cut off some of that sky up there, it would have been even more effective. Get to see these guys' feet, but overall, this is such a good condoc training photo. And I really actually like it black and white. This is cool. It takes a minute to figure out what's going on and realize that there's another person there that they're fighting. First, it kind of looks like he just tripped. This is a great overall to what I think would be a solid photo story. It's good feel. Sorry, Flickr's being a little funky. That was a pretty good image too. Keep working these type of photos. Potentially even aim at getting even closer, get very intimate with your subjects in these type of scenarios. It would make it a lot more powerful. Get a nice feel. These can sometimes be overdone, so just watch it on that. Yeah, this is pretty cool. It's got this smoky sort of feel, almost like it's from the Western days too. But the context-wise, I'm not quite sure what's happening, but pictorial-wise, I think this is really, really cool. It was a good moment. Air Force training there, people smiling, Cool. Lots of repetitive type images. Yeah, when judges are looking at this, they want to see the best of the best. And so if you have a couple images that look similar to each other, you get some people to help you out, have a couple people look over your portfolio so you can decide which one is going to be more effective on that competition stage. Cool. It's got a good mood, a good feel, and this is, this is what it's like doing, real condoc training. It's long days, long nights. Train how you fight, right? And that's what this image it makes you feel. And of course, when you throw something in black and white, and it's kind of a low light scenario, it adds that grit to it, right? Which is why I also think it makes this pretty effective. So good job. Oh, cool. I love this. Sorry there. I love this image. I think this has a very cinematic feel too. This is another example of Dutch tilt gone right, and a real good use of your light, recognizing how your hardware, your aircraft is going to be silhouetted. And I know that's not an easy image to grab. So good job on grabbing it. All right, so that's it for ComDoc. Now I'm going to show you guys the images that I thought rose to the top. So when you're looking at these images, whenever I went through judges, whenever I was on the other end and looking at my imagery up there on the competition stage, I always try to look at it in a way where I wasn't judging based off of if I got first, second, or third. I judged based off of if my imagery was constantly rising toward the top along with the peers that I admire, right? And so whatever happens from this stage on is a little bit irrelevant. Right. But what's important to note is, okay, my imagery is continuously being chosen for that top tier. Right. Now, what can I do to advance it to be in first, second, or third? And sometimes it's just being able, to have be in the right place at the right time, recognize a really strong moment and capitalize on it. Right. All those things play into those final decisions that the judges make. But if you made it this far, congratulations. You're seeing something, and you're really making something out of those opportunities that you have. Go through. And I love that image too, because that shows that there are no excuses when you're out there and it's low light, right? You can find a way to make things work. You just have to sometimes get a little bit creative, right? I'm not a super huge fan of silhouettes, but this one's pretty good, and this one's just like a second or two behind. I'm waiting for all hands on deck to help out, or a little bit more separation between the item they're carrying and the heads, right? But overall, I appreciate this image. Good moment. Again, this nice cinematic feel. I wish I saw this in pictorial. This is another image. I talked about it before, but this is an opportunity where that wide angle lens getting up close could really lend to a super solid photo, right? Of course, you got to make sure you stay out of the way too, but this is one. It looks like it's a controlled environment, so try to get a little bit more daring. Get up close and personal if you can. Nice. Again, this is a good use of light in the sense that you're allowing this light to silhouette your subjects, and it also gives a nice a feel. Great image. I do just wish it was tilted down a little more, but you never know, because you want to, as you're shooting, I know you just want to make sure that you're able to get this in the air, and so you leave a little bit of room up top. However, it would have been even better had your camera been tilted downward. Cool. If these guys were just a little bit more defined, I think it would be more effective. Still effective, but if they were more defined, it would be more effective. Awesome. I do sort of wish you were a little bit lower, get this guy's face just a tad more. Cool. The background is a little bit what makes it too. Nice feel. Good job saying, you know what, I know what I need to do in order to get that solid shot. I need an underwater camera. I need to find my way to get in front of these subjects. And so you're definitely thought forward on capturing this image. Way cool. Great job. Good balance and everything. I just think this white space, or this, it competes a bit. It just feels a little bit wasted. Just like here. I just have never seen that before, so. And great. All right, so now let's take you to the top images, the ones that are going to receive honorable mention and first, second, and third place. All right, first up for honorable mention is this great training image. Just a good moment, right? And in this field, at the end of the day, a lot of times it's all about moments. Everything's controlled. You got that nice lighting in the background that really allows them to separate. You got some light on the subject's faces, just good expressions. Truly, you can tell that these individuals, are living life in this moment. And sometimes that's not the case when we're going through training. So great job there. Second honorable mention is this, composed really well. I said earlier, and I still feel this way, I wish the photographer was just a tad lower and maybe even to the right just a bit, so that you can get that whole frame filled up, right? It's all about using your entire frame to the best of your ability. But great colors, just graphically appealing as well. All right, drum roll. So your third place. I think this is another amazing moment and something that really summarizes those rough training days. This is great, right? This grit that comes along with these low light situations and training environments really shows through. You could tell these guys, are having a long day, and this guy's just taking a moment to himself, wipe his head off and just trying to get back into the game. Overall, you just get that whole feel through this image. I think the other thing that this photographer does pretty well is use most of the entire frame. I do wish that there was possibly another person here. You could see a little bit more of space utilized effectively. I love this over here too. Everybody, you can tell that it's a serious situation that they're going through. So good job to the third place individual. Second place, I love this image. This photographer was thinking, how do I get a dynamic shot when lighting conditions aren't necessarily the best? Well, you know what? This is how. And the ability to use your light really gave this good feel of movement, that you have in the air. I don't know what's going on necessarily, but I feel like you're on the move and it's important. So solid image there. And finally, love this image wholeheartedly. It has this very, very film feel. I feel like if I'm going through images from back in the day, I would pull this out on a negative, right? And that just adds to the grittiness of this training photograph. And I love grit when you're adding to these ComDoc situations, and everything about this image is pretty well done. Right. I spoke earlier, I do wish the camera still was tilted down a tad, but I also think that it works. You've got some leading room of where this projectile is going. So congratulations to the first, second, and third place finishers.